Hey guys, ZenAku here again with another video about Quake Champions. In this video we're going to go over the main points in 2v2, from Champions, out of control play and quad control. Let's get straight into looking at Blood Covenant. On this map, Gleaner and Doom are the best champions, because of good mobility and the damage output. Keep in mind, if you're not utilizing Gleaner's totems for restoring health and zoning out at the quad, you will struggle versus other matchups. When out of control, it can sometimes be very difficult to find an opening. Your main objective is to utilize Heavy Nail Gun, Heavy Machine Gun, and the Lightning Gun, as this can be one of the best guns in 2v2 because of the consistent damage. Similar to Duel, rotate between the items and don't push if they are there early. If you are at the other item and they are attacking, you will have the defender's advantage, and be able to take the item. Because this is a heavy rail-based map, using Nail Gun to spam corridors and stay on the lower part of the map is essential. This is so you can trade damage and also evade damage. Winning the quad can depend on what time the big armor spawns. If you're able to collect the big armor at 25 seconds before the power-up spawns, you're able to retake the quad with a higher chance of success. However, if the big armor spawns 15 seconds before the power-up spawns, you don't have enough time to create a strategy and generally die to spam if you rush too quickly. Being at the power-up before it spawns is the most advantageous. If you attempt to push onto the quad without having a higher stack, you will generally lose to spam. One person pushing from Rocket with Nail Gun or Railgun, while the other person pushes from Mega Health Bounce Pad with Lightning Gun or Starting Machine Gun, will give you a decent chance. Lastly, as tempting as it is to go up the Bounce Pad to collect rockets, communicate with your partner to check it's safe, as you can throw away a lot of frags and lose momentum. Ruins of Sinnoh are similar with some subtle changes. On this map, I picked Gleaner and Visor. Because the map is so large, knowing where your opponent is to do some early spam damage with the Nail Gun is essential. There's also plenty of cooldown reductions to make full use of Visor's ability. A big thing that really changed my gameplay in this map was always using a champion's momentum. Sometimes control will be locked and you have limited guns because of positions. It's essential to avoid rail angles, but also to be at a high speed when attacking, to avoid damage but also to secure damage. When out of control, this map comes down to the flow of players' positions. A common scenario is getting heavily spawn fragged because the out of control guns are in the open. Be sure to avoid your opponents unless they are being extremely aggressive, in which case the Lightning Gun and Nail Gun are very good at trading more efficiently. In the case they aren't aggressive, you will generally be railed at least once untraded. It's your objective to keep track if they are chasing frags, in which case you collect the major power-ups uncontested, or you allow them to get the power-ups and then you trade from a better position. In terms of quad control, the best position is hiding at the rockets and at the Mega Health Bridge. It's a good way to hold both the intersection and the Nail Gun entrance. It's important you don't take too much damage before the power-up spawns, as it's generally more difficult to hit trade rails when people are coming from the Nail Gun entrance. You have the defender's position, take full advantage of defensive rockets to delay their movement. Otherwise, if you can't get the power-up position, the railgun is easy to get and a good way to slow down a player who gets the quad dramatically. This is because there isn't much health on that side of the map, if the Mega Health isn't up. From this, one player can apply rail pressure, while the other has a chance to steal it. On this map, Gleaner and Ranger or Gleaner and Doomslayer can work. As Ranger, you want to take particular notice of getting as many big armors as you can with the Dire Orb, as armor is very scarce on this map. The close quarters and teleporter exits make Gleaner a huge threat as always, and Doomslayer can abuse the close quarter punches and awkward rocket battles around most parts of the map. The most common issue on this map is both spawning in the Nail Gun room, while your opponents have good weapon control and good stacks. The only solution is to simply rush through Tribolt and catch a player 2 vs 1, or have a good timing on the Mega Health to force a player lower, in which case you can then take the Tribolt room again. The Nail Gun can help in holding angles, but don't commit too much when your opponent can rail you with Shotgun, or on the corridor at Mega Health for almost completely untraded damage. Moving as a team is essential, in being able to have any strength when out of control. The quad room is an even harder choke to push through, as Lightning Gun and the Railgun teleporter can be a death trap. Without position on the power-up, pushing through Tribolt stairs into quad room can have a good chance of success, as there's 2 entrances for your opponent to look after. Otherwise, forcing your opponent to trade a rail while you move through Shotgun can allow your teammate to push through the upper entrance while they have a different weapon selected. As per most maps, being on the quad is the most powerful position, as you have the defender's advantage. Lastly, Blood Run is a very position and weapon based map. Be logical about the way you move around, and avoid as much free rail damage as possible. On Uncorrupted Cape, you can play Gleaner and Clutch or Gleaner and Ranger. As Ranger, you want to make use of the Dire Orb. putting it on the floor at the power-up as it can instant telefrag people for a period of time. As clutch, you want to be aggressive, but be cautious about how you move around the map, as the wrong position can lead to huge amounts of untreated damage and loss of momentum. The most essential thing when out of control is to not keep rushing the rocket launcher. Because the mega health side of the map has lightning gun and rocket launcher, the defensive side has heavy nail gun and big armor. Unless you can secure the big armor by being at a high position, rotate as they come to collect it. This is your chance to get the mega health and lightning gun, and then to contest for top position. The quad is all about top position at the rocket launcher, as you have high ground advantage. Even if you do lose the battle for top position, don't be afraid to rush it off spawn as ranger or clutch, as the quick speed or the dire orb can sometimes snatch it away for a quick turnaround. Last on the list is Vale of Pnath. Here, Gleaner and Ranger are king. Gleaner with the ability to dominate the top by forcing players to use the bounce pad to clear totems, and Ranger's ability to steal big arms and telefrag people at the power up. This map has a lot of spawn fragging, and it's easy to keep running into rocket launcher from the railgun. On most maps you can contest the big armor with other guns, but the position is horrible for players out of control. If you want to come back, you must take your time, using the heavy nailgun and railgun. It's important to rotate as they collect the big armor, and take top control for a 2 vs 1 fight at the mega health. After you retake top position, you have a chance to start contesting for the heavy armor. The quad has an awkward choke and is very dependent on health stacks. Don't be afraid to run into the quad if your opponents don't have many weapons or any health items. Likewise, if you're in the quad room, use nailgun, a totem, and the dire orb to push for a lucky comeback. Alright guys, that's all I have for this video, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer as soon as I can. Alright guys, thanks again, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
I got it. 100 on Ranger. Kill Ranger.
Oh my god. Ah, that game was so fucking dumb. Oh my god.
Sanders just still here?